All right, everybody, it's Numismatic Stacker. How's it going? I know I haven't been producing a lot of content, just been really busy. I apologize for that. I'm planning on a trip. I gotta go and do a work trip up north. I'm planning on bringing some books and stuff like that about coins. I want to do some short videos on both of my channels. Just been crazy busy. I'm excited for some things that are coming up. So now we're seeing that gold and silver are starting to rise. The really interesting thing is going to be Wednesday, because the Shanghai exchange is supposed to open back up because they're closed during Chinese New Year. They're going to open up on Wednesday. Hey, good morning, Sunny Guns. What's up? They're poised to say that silver's going to start to rally a second time starting on Wednesday. We'll see. They also reported that China is suspending any imports or exports of gold right now. Exports of gold. It's because there's a shortage of gold. You see right now, gold's $5,200. Isn't that insane? And right now, what's silver at? About 88, 89, $88, something like that. That's pretty good. And we got March coming up. That's what I get excited about. Usually March is like the pinnacle, like you get the peak of a lot of sales. The market's really hot, the hottest it ever gets, and then the market for gold and silver could be astronomical. I have no idea. It could be very high. But here's the thing. I don't normally sell constitutional silver. I keep all that locked up in my safe. I have 10, 11 rolls of Morgan dollars. Some are BU, none of them are call. I'm thinking of bringing at least 4 rolls of those at the Earl Brown show. Even though I say I'm not going to sell gold, I might bring about an ounce worth of like fractionals and just 13 bags of dimes with 100 dimes per bag. That's 13 bags, and the price keeps rising. A week ago, under melt would have been $5.25. Now we're looking at, it could be about, what is it, 63? 63, so that's $630 is melt. I'm not planning on selling anything at melt. I want it under melt. At least $2-3 for any constitutional silver. Just letting you know. And that's insane how much this is going up. Because if I were to sell to a dealer, I'm going to get far less. Maybe I've heard some dealers pay 50% back of melt. That's a lot low. That's what, $33? That's too low. $33 face. That's because they have no exit strategy. And so if I feel like I want to sell some dimes, you know, I got to give them some sort of a discount for an incentive to purchase them at a show. I don't have a brick and mortar coin shop where I can get retail, I can get spot. So we got to give people a discount on that. It's cash only deals. And that's the best way to exit some of these items. Invest that money into something else. Use some of that, like a certain percentage of that, we'll deposit that. Then we'll pay the taxes on that. And I think life's gonna be pretty good after that. How are you guys doing with your taxes? Do a donut? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do that. I'm not in the parking lot here. I just wanted to sit here and chat for a little bit. But I'm really excited. So let's see. What would I be looking for? And it's still the same thing. It's like customers come to me. What would I buy from them? You know, a lot of times they want to like give me 40% silver half dollars. I don't have an exit for those things, so I don't purchase those things. I don't do it full time where I can buy war nickels and 40% silver that I just really can't resell. Nobody's gonna want those. I'd have to basically have a membership to a wholesaler. I could call Dave, you know, a nice Annie, and see what his numbers are, so maybe I can make $1 or $2. Still an hour drive to go see him and do a trade, and that's always an option too. But sometimes I get some pretty good customers that give me some numismatics, or they give me some gold or something like that. They give me an option to give them an offer. Those are things I like to price a little stronger for those customers. I know what the gray sheet is. I'm kind of in between gray sheet and like wholesale, you know, for when I want to purchase it from somebody, and I do want to do a little bit above wholesale, kind of, and it's just a small margin. That's all we're doing, like 5-10%. I'm not asking 20-25% or even 30% on my coins. When I'm buying really nice things from dealers, you know, I can't get stuff for gray sheet. I mean, it's tough. I'd have to buy a multitude of things from one dealer to get the best price. You guys know that. But I have particular tastes, you know. I gotta have, you know, really nice PQ surfaces. It's gotta be a certain date. Maybe it has a green bean on it, whatever, you know. Smash the like buttons, that's right. And I'm just really excited. I'm tickled pink. So to list out the shows that I have one in Roseville. That's the second Saturday. I think that's the 8th. No, wait, the 7th of March. And then I go to St. Cloud. That's Sunday. So I have 2 shows. Is it next weekend? No, it's in 2 weeks from now. St. Cloud is hit or miss. Sometimes it's very, very good, and sometimes it's not. But I'm betting all my chips on Earl Brown, because that's a 3-day event. Everybody goes to that. That's NWCC, Northwest Coin Club. That's the big show that we have around here in Minnesota. It's not as big as, like, say, the Fun Show, but I believe there's like 50 to 60 tables there. It's pretty big. Depending on where they seat me, because I like to be closer to the doors, the entrance doors. And usually I just get sales. For an example, I was like right in front of the front door, and there was like 500 people that were coming in right when the show was starting to open, and I sold like 2 10th-ounce Eagles in 5 minutes, just like that. It was amazing. I'm like, it's already starting, man. I already made $500 or whatever. I don't know. That was then, because those things were like $280. They were selling for $280 at the time. And that's saying, now they're going for like what, almost $600, $575, $600 is what the 10th ounces are going for now. Wow, that's amazing. You know, I really support gold. I really do, and I support silver as well. But I favor gold a little bit more than silver, just because of its properties. Like, it's for monetization, for currency, the way it represents failing currencies and stuff like that, and inflation. That's why gold rises. And there's a lot of, you know, silver does too, but it has a lot of other catalysts that move it up and down. But I'm glad to see that silver's volatility hasn't been like a $20 spread per week lately, which is very, very good. That supports the price. You know, I think maybe that critical minerals price flooring had something to do with that. But it's nice to see silver almost at $90 today. What's up, man? Cool Kid. Hey, you know, is there a video game for Nintendo called Cool Kid? I can't remember. Or is it Mick Kids or something like that? I don't know. What do I know? But anyway, I do collect video games. NES, I do. Let's see. Anything else you guys want to chat about? So, see, that's about a month away, 3 weeks away from now. What do we think? You think silver will probably hit $100 again? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm not going to say it, but I'm just hopeful that we can see higher prices than today. I mean, that's only like, what, $12 more. I think it can do that. And when I see silver going up like over 5% in a day, I think that's just too strong. It's scary when it goes up that much, because in my mind, I keep thinking there might be a pullback coming up again. But then again, I think some interesting things are going to happen on Wednesday when the Shanghai Exchange opens up again. And I know that China wants to suppress the price of silver because they are like infrastructure mecca of the world when it comes to refining silver and gold. And I had no idea that the United States still allegedly has more gold than China. When they say, you know, 400 what is it, 4? I'm sorry, guys. I moved closer to the building so I can get more Wi-Fi here. I hope the last couple of minutes weren't all glitchy. So again, I was talking about the Shanghai Exchange, where they're going to be opening up on Wednesday, and that could support silver. We could have a second rally starting, but at the same time, there was an article that China wants to suppress the price of silver and keep it down. They want the GSR to be at 200, is what they claimed. They're no longer exporting gold right now, and that's, I mean, we're at $5,200 gold. It's starting to move, it's been kind of sitting at between 49 and 51. So basically 5,000 for the last 2 weeks straight. And it's nice to see that gold isn't so volatile. It did have a big drop when we had the Black Friday event on, what was it, January 30th. But then the volatility just continued beyond belief with silver for the next following couple weeks. But it's nice again to see that the volatility has shortened. It's not to say that it could continue to be incredibly volatile again. There could be, and I think they're going to add more to the margins again, like another 3-4%. I think that's going to happen again, and that's what causes a little volatility with silver, because of those short positions, and it just it's so annoying with that, right? And it has a small market cap; it can be manipulated. Yeah, it is true. To tell you the truth, the physical price should be about 80% more than the paper price. From what I've been seeing with the what is that place? Well, Travis and Mitch from Real Estate Mindset. When they go to like Monday Metals Exchange, that price is going to be basically 80 cents more than the spot. Hey, what's up? There's 48 people in the chat. What's up? Fire away. What's up? Smash the like button. Hello. What do we got? Is International Stacker doing this again? Does International Stacker have something to do with this? I'm talking about silver and gold here. I think it's going to go to $100 in the next 2 weeks or so. That's what I think. What's up? Is there anybody in the chat? Maybe I better... Hold on. How do you... I want to see all the chats. All messages. Okay. There, yep. Crab Nation, you're crabbing me again. I just timed it just right. What up, guys? Yeah, I feel like I think gold and silver is a pretty good investment right now. I think it's going to start rising. And I was talking about my coin shows that are coming up, and I'm looking for some ways to move some of my constitutional silver. And you want to get rid of the junk, and you want to buy the good stuff. That's what I'm doing. Why not? There's times to sell it and then times to hold it. I think that time is coming. Well, when March is the mecca when it comes to the market with silver and gold and coins. Everybody wants to buy it because people get tax returns, they get refunds, they have a little extra liquidity that they can purchase some things that they want to. And I'm not going to be a buyer for a lot of junk stuff because I don't have an exit strategy for wartime nickels, 40% silver. But I could ask my wholesaler up in Isani what his price is before I go, just so I'm ready to go. I got my guns loaded. He doesn't price lock. I don't think he price locks anymore, just to tell you the truth. Oh no, I'm not greedy at all. Agreed, yes. I just think it's a time to cash out, just a little bit. When the market's right, it's right. When the market goes back down, then I'll buy more silver, buy more gold. That's the way it is. I know how human beings are. When silver and gold start to go up, then they want to buy it. And they always fall into that trap over and over again. When silver can be a trap, when you're buying it too high, when it gets low, buy in. And like I said, I'm not a silver bug. I'm more of a gold hound than a silver bug, because when it comes to silver, I like to see numismatics. I like to see a mercury dime that's Mid-State 67 full bands with the CAC sticker on it. That's what I want to see. I want to see CC Morgan dollars with nice toning on it. That's what I want to see. That's the kind of silver I like a lot. And I know people out there have their mixed opinions. They like to have silver by weight, or they want the collectible like things. And foreshadowing some laws that could come into effect by 2027, certain states, gold and silver might be considered legal tender. Yes, so May 1st, 2027, the Texas Bullion Depository. Very interesting. They're producing their own gold and silver coins, which they are sold out right now, but they're supposed to be exempt from taxes from the federal government. That's interesting. As I talked to my tax professional when I did my taxes, on the 18th of February, I asked them, so if I want to sell $10,000 worth of silver, what's the proper thing that I need to do? Well, I have to sign an 8300 form. And that is all year. That's not just one transaction per day. It has to be, if it's over 10,000 per year, you need to file a form and pay capital gains tax, which kind of stinks, but I'm just kind of waiting for that time. Since I have a sales ID number, I'm a licensed dealer. If I sell at the show, I don't have to pay the capital gains tax on that. I had to pay the sales tax. Anything I deposit, I have to pay sales tax. That's for sure. But I asked them two times, if I go to Texas and I sell my gold and silver, and in that state it's legal tender, it will be soon. So do I have to pay federal taxes? And he's like, not in that state. And I'm like, okay, that's very interesting, but I'd have to look it up. So don't quote me on that. But I would say if a state sanctions that gold and silver are legal tender, like say in the state of Texas, the federal government still shouldn't be exempting that. That's just what I'm saying, just in that state alone. So there's some more research that I need to do, some more questions I need to ask to get better answers on certain things like that. So what's up? Is there a gun? What are you guys talking about? Texas and Florida? There you go. So there's two states right now. Thank you very much for that. I'm very interested in that. And I think it's going to spread to many other states. It will. I just live in the worst state, Minnesota. Every state around me is tax exempt for sales tax. North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, all surrounding states, there is no sales tax. That's why I like to go to coin shows in all those other states. I do like to travel, and I can write all that off 100%. Even my food, I think I get 60 to 78% back on all food purchases. I get 100% on my hotel. That's great. Write it off. There you go. I'm the master of writing off things. I know what to buy and what to write off. It's awesome. But I was very, very honest with my taxes, and I have to pay a lot of money. It's over $12,000 just to the feds, and almost $3,000 to the state, and I get $3,600 back property tax refund. So that kind of stinks, when the honest people, they get the short end of the stick, and that's just the way it is. The way I get my work, a lot of them, I don't, you see, I get 1099s, so I have to claim that money. I can't lie. I go off my deposits, and that's the smartest thing to do when it comes to operating a business, but you're taxed big time. So there's no way to get around it. The Leering Center, yeah, I had a thriving job. I was a daycare provider for a little while. I had to close up. That's why I'm on this cruise in Florida. Yeah, that was funny. That's a big scandal. They're gonna find a lot more of that around here. The Leering Center, it's crazy. Can't even spell learning right. Laugh my ass off. Yeah. Canada's basically all the money that we've ever get is 65% tax. Yes. So, okay. My son, he's been getting very depressed. He's 17 years old. I'm like, would you stop watching all the politics and stuff and the Epstein files? He's just like mentally drained from it. He wants to leave this country. He wants to go and move to Germany. I'm like, why do you want to move to Germany? He's like, well, they don't have any debt. Okay. Healthcare is paid for. I'm like, Logan, buddy, you know, if you made $1,000, €1,000 a week in Germany, you're going to probably take home 50% of that, because it's not free. It comes out of your check. Think about it. Is it that great? I told him, stay in this country. Stay in this country. There's better states. You're probably more mad that you live here in Minnesota. There's better states out there that provide better. They have a lower cost of living. And if you can utilize that, if you have a business that you can sell stuff online throughout the country, you'll do just fantastically. So taxation is theft. Absolutely. Property taxes is fraud. You know, and I've been looking this up. Like, say my dad dies, and I want to collect the urn. There's a limited exemption on property taxes here in this state of Minnesota that it doesn't do me any good to sanction as a cemetery, just to have my father's ashes on my property, so to speak. He's still alive. I'm just talking about it here. But there's other states where if you could sanction a cemetery and just put one urn in, say, just build a crypt or something like that, then you're tax exempt of property taxes for the whole property. But in this state, it's limited exemption. So then again, it's been fraud since 1913 when it comes to property taxes. I wish they would rewrite the tax laws, because it was originally designed in 1775 to fuel the militia. And what are our property taxes paying for now? We're not paying for the military and the army right now. From what I can understand, it's going to like police stations, fire departments, and schools, which I think is wrong. It's just, why? You know, I didn't vote for this $40 million fire department that they're going to build. I'm like, well, now my property tax is going to go up 8%. That's a lot, dude. My property taxes have doubled since I've moved into that house in Otsego since 2021. 5 years, it's doubled. Some of my neighbors that I were friends with, they just had enough and moved. They went to Malacca or something like that. Much cheaper cost of living. They just got tired of it. But I bought the home for an investment. The property was worth $675. Now it's dropped to like $525,000. So anyway, and the Leering Center, yes, I told my family to throw me in the backyard of the property tax exempt. Hey, that'd be pretty cool. You can do that in some states, but I don't like the limited exemption here in this state. They're just such greedy little guys here. The government is so incredibly greedy. They tax you like crazy. You know, this state is getting ridiculous. It's like one of the top 7 most expensive states to live in is Minnesota, apparently. But it is beautiful. I grew up here. I have a thriving business here, and it's kind of hard to start over again. And then if I did move, that's where I'm going to start a coin shop. That's it. I'm not going to try and do another paint contracting business in another state. Forget it. My brother is in Redwood Falls. Oh, that's a beautiful area. Very beautiful. Taylor Falls is incredibly beautiful. Kettle River is incredibly beautiful as well. But anyway, guys, I've been on for 25 minutes. Thanks for all the support. Thank you. I'm going to be putting some short videos out pretty soon. And I do have a new channel called Gold Hound. So just type it up and you'll find it. My last video has the last 3 videos I have links to it But basically you can just type in gold hound, no spaces, on YouTube. It'll take you right there. So check out some of my videos. I want to do a lot of educational shorts on gold rushes, gold coins, and anything. It's just I really enjoy it. Even prospecting. I do find gold up here in Minnesota. I prospect in the river, and that's a portal for some of those videos for gold. And that's why I have 2 different channels. Because sometimes I talk about gold, doesn't do too good on my main channel, and sometimes it does really well. If I do prospecting, which I think is pretty cool, I find a lot of gold, I only get like 200-300 views. But if I were to port that into a gold channel, it would do a lot better. It just really would. Crab raids are fun, absolutely. Guys, thank you very much. I like the crab raids. So, all right, you guys have a great one. Thank you for showing up, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. You got crabs.